Brainy Dose presents 7 things you should always say no to. Saying no doesn't always come easily. Sometimes we do things we really don't want to do, just to avoid awkwardness, conflict, or disappointing someone. But every time you say yes to something that doesn't sit right with you, you're saying no to yourself. Your time, energy, and peace are limited, and not everyone deserves a piece of them. So let's talk about 7 things you should always say no to. Not sometimes, not when it's convenient, always. Ready? Here we go. Number 1, being guilt-tripped into anything. If someone needs to make you feel bad in order to get you to do something, that's manipulation, plain and simple. It might be dressed up as concern or wrapped in emotional language, but the motive is clear. They're using guilt as leverage, and guilt should never be the reason you say yes. It can be subtle, like a friend saying, "Wow, I guess you're just too busy for me now," whenever you try to set a boundary. Or a parent implying you've changed because you didn't do what they expected. Nevertheless, guilt tripping is not love, it's control. You don't owe anyone your discomfort just to keep them from feeling theirs. If your no makes someone angry, it's probably a sign that your boundaries were only respected when it served them. Number 2, anything that violates your values. There's a big difference between being flexible and being disconnected from yourself. If something deep down feels wrong, even if everyone else is doing it, and even if it looks like the easy route, it's not for you. Your values aren't some vague, idealistic checklist. They're the core of who you are. When you start bending them for approval, convenience, or fear of missing out, you're doing it at the expense of your self-trust. And once that trust is gone, it takes a long time to rebuild. Always say no to situations, offers, or things that ask you to become someone you're not. You don't need to betray yourself just to belong. Number 3, one-sided relationships. If you're always the one reaching out, constantly explaining your worth, trying to prove you care, fixing things that you didn't break, pause. Because relationships should feel like a dance, not a marathon where only you are doing the running. Of course, one-sidedness isn't always loud. It can look like silence when you're struggling, or someone disappearing when it's your turn to need support. Whatever the dynamic is, if you're always left feeling unappreciated or emotionally tapped out, it's worth asking, is this person really showing up for me, or am I just filling a gap in their life? Love, respect, and effort shouldn't be optional or conditional. You deserve reciprocity. If the other person can't meet you halfway, stop walking in circles. Number 4, pressure to stay silent when you want to speak up. There's a lot of subtle pressure in our society to just keep the peace, to smile, nod, and pretend you're okay when something feels off. But silence is not always peaceful. Sometimes it's self-abandonment. Whether it's a conversation, a boardroom, or your own family, it's okay to use your voice. You don't need to scream or argue, but you are allowed to mention when something doesn't work for you or that you see things differently. Saying no to the pressure to stay silent is powerful. You're choosing truth over comfort. And yeah, it might ruffle some feathers, but if the truth makes someone uncomfortable, maybe the problem isn't you speaking up. It's their attachment to the lie. Number 5, neglecting yourself to keep others happy. I'm just gonna say it. Constantly putting yourself last doesn't make you noble. It only makes you exhausted, and people will get used to it. They'll expect it. Truth is, it's totally possible to be kind without being a doormat. You can show up for others without emptying yourself in the process. That whole "you can't pour from an empty cup" line? It's not just a quote for coffee mugs. It's real life. Learn to say no to self-neglect, and you'll feel your energy improve, your relationships grow healthier, and most importantly, you'll start to feel like you again. Number 6, opportunities that undermine your self-respect. Not every opportunity is a good opportunity. Some are traps with shiny wrapping. For instance, a job that pays well but treats you like trash. A relationship that looks good from the outside but quietly tears you down. Or a connection that promises success but leaves you drained. You don't need to tolerate disrespect just to say you made it. You don't need to bite your tongue to keep a door open. If that door requires you to become small, quiet, or less than, you're better off building your own. After all, respect is not something you earn by shrinking. It's something you command by standing tall. Number 7, compromising your peace for temporary gratification. We've all done it. Sent that late night text we knew we'd regret. Said yes to something just to avoid feeling lonely. Chased a quick fix for a deeper wound, and so on. But those temporary highs almost always come with a crash. Your mental peace is precious, and the older you get, the more you realize how expensive chaos is. That toxic relationship, that impulsive decision, that little lie you told to avoid the harder truth, all of it adds up. Say no to the things that feel good now, but will leave you worse off later. The moment might be tempting, but your future self will thank you for walking away. While most people think saying no is about rejection, it's really about direction. Every time you say no to something that drains you, devalues you, or distracts you, you're saying yes to something better. Your peace, your standards, your actual life. That's not to say you should become cold or harsh to protect your energy. You just need to be clear about what you allow, what you tolerate, and what you absolutely won't keep justifying anymore. So, if you've been waiting for permission to draw the line, this is it. You don't owe anyone a version of you that's constantly uncomfortable, just so they can stay unbothered. Remember that. And hey, if you could go back in time, what's one yes you'd change to a no, and why? Share your thoughts in comments below. If you enjoyed this video, share it with others, hit the like button, and subscribe for more content like this. Thanks for watching.